Hello everyone, welcome to the channel of RD Automation Learning. In this video, I'm going to tell you one of the truth related to the corporate jobs, and let me share the details with you. See, these days we are getting a lot of news, and mostly some of them are positive, some of them are negative. So multiple news are coming, and we are getting the things like employees are working for the deadlines, and on the next day they are getting laid off due to some cost cutting. The employees are getting laid off. So team, what happened, it can be a situation that you were maybe a manager, and there was a team who was reporting to you, and on the next day your boss comes up and they tell that all your team members are reporting to them. So there is no room, there is no space for you, and you are being asked to put down the papers. So these kind of things are happening in the corporate world, whether you are manager, whether you are employees, whether you are middle size, middle level experience employee, or whether you are a fresher. You are not being given the projects, you might be on the bench. So there might be various situations that you might be not expecting them to be, but then you can come into those particular situations. Due to cost cutting, the employees are getting laid off. So what is happening is that the stability in the IT jobs, the stability in the market is reducing day by day. Now, in order to make sure that you are able to withstand this particular situation, what I would suggest is you should give interviews, you should give mock interviews at least twice in a year. Because when you will give the interviews, so let me tell you what happens when you give the interviews. So when you are giving the interviews, you will be able to benchmark yourself. What is the level? What is the improvement that you need? How much you are able to recall? How much you are able to clear the interviews or not? So to what extent you need for the preparations? Now, this benchmarking is very important. Tomorrow, if your job goes away, and if you are already well revised, you have revised the fundamentals, you have revised the basic things that are asked in an interview, you won't be feeling confused, you won't be feeling depressed, and you would be able to give the interviews more confidently. So in order to assist you, what we have done is we have this mock interview service which is available on the TopMate. You can book the call on the TopMate, and you can tell us in the description whether you would like to get this video recorded for the YouTube or not. As such, we are recording all the videos and we are uploading them on the YouTube for the community purpose. But in case you are feeling shy, or in case you are feeling nervous, or you are giving the interview just for your preparation, then you can also let us know what are your thoughts, and you can give this mock interview. From this mock interview, you would come to know whether you are prepared for the actual interview or not. Because from these mock interviews, you would come to know definitely that what is the level of preparation that is required from your side and how much is done. So whatever is done, let's say 40% is done or 60% is done, then you don't have to worry about those 40-60%. You have to worry about the remaining percentage that you have to cover up. So that's very important, because when you are laid off at that time, you won't get the time to do the preparation for the interviews. And what I would suggest is you should give interviews twice in a year, or at least in once in a 6 months, because you would come to know that what is my level, what is my preparation, am I prepared for the market. You don't know what kind of questions you would get in a real time interview. But if you book this call on the TopMate, and if you share your CV with us, then definitely we will assess your CV, and we'll conduct the interview based on the real time interview questions and answers that are applicable to your resume, to your profile, to your candidature. Now, these days, people might be telling you that there are so many AI agents, there are so many AI tools that are conducting interviews. Why do we have to book over here? Because those AI tools will be taking your interviews in a very generic manner. They might not be that much evaluating your CV properly. But when you book this call on the TopMate, definitely it's the mindset. So I'm personally also assessing the CV. Even I have a team who would be taking care, and you can benchmark yourself. Now, and you can get the appropriate questions also. Now, one more thing here is that why you should give interviews. So if you are giving the interviews at a regular intervals, you'll come to know, okay, this is how the market is going. If you do the comparison, just do a comparative analysis. It won't take much time. Pre-COVID, what were the questions asked? On a very high level, I'm telling you. So pre-pandemic, people were asked questions on functional testing, on severity priorities, right? Some of the questions were related to STLC as well. Okay. Now, post COVID, if you see, or if you see recent 6 months or last 1 year, then the trend has changed. Now, the two interview rounds are happening. In the first interview round, the priority is given to the Java or any of the programming language that you are comfortable with. You should be able to write the programs, you should be able to generate the output. Then and then only your first interview round would be clear. Your second interview round starts with your automation Selenium questions. Okay. Depending on your experience, they might tell you, okay, whether it's a framework building kind of questions might be asked, or you might be asked about the project related questions, or you might be asked about the exception or the real time scenario based questions, like what would you do in this particular situation? How would you handle the list? Whether you would go for array list, or whether you would go for the linked list, or maybe hash map in this scenario. So, where you have used collection, where you have used oops concepts. So, those kind of things would be happening. So, the point here that you should note is that it becomes very important that what kind of questions you are going to get. Okay, if you are giving a dummy interview and they tell you that you are able to give the answer of 9 of the questions out of 10, that's a great thing. But whether that dummy interview questions are real time or not, because these days people will be asking you real time questions. They will not be asking you how will you launch the browser. Okay, they will not ask you what is page object model. Those kind of questions will not come. They'll ask you scenario based questions. So that's very important. You should be prepared for those kind of questions. It should not happen that tomorrow, when you need the job, at that time you give the interview and then you are struggling because you might not be able to clear the interview since you have not prepared. And you might realize at that time that the level of interview has changed a lot. There is a drastic change. So it will take time to clear the interviews at that time. See, there are two kinds of batsmen in a cricket match. One batsman is such that they can hit the ball for the 6 runs in the last ball. But every time it might not be possible, right? How many of you expect you to hit the 6 runs of the last ball in an over? So that's the thing that might not be applicable every time. Maybe by fluke, you might be able to give the interview and you might be able to clear it in the first shot itself. That's also good. That's a good thing. But not everyone is comfortable. Not everyone is prepared for those kind of things. So, in order to make yourself prepared, in order to be prepared, it's very important you should give the mock interviews, right? So you can book the call on the top mate and you would be getting the real time questions, real time answers, the feedback as well. And trust me, these mock interviews would give you the proper stage and they would also tell you that what is the level of preparation, how much more preparation you need, where do you need more improvement. So that's why the mock interviews are very important. So I would keep the link of the mock interview in the description as well as in the comment section of the video so you can start booking the slots and would be happy to connect with you. And you can put in the description at the time of booking whether you are interested for the recording or you don't want the recording. So those kind of things you can keep when you are booking the slot. And you can also put in the description about the skill set, whether you are looking for the Java interview, whether you're looking for the automation testing interview, whether you are looking for the Selenium interview. So those kind of things you can let us know, right? So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching this video and stay tuned for more updates.